I agree. I want to be very clear here. I am not intending to demonize medications. Medications can be a life-saving measure for people, and I'm sure that wasn't the intention of the providers, was to save Lindsay Clancy's life. And I'm sure they did not think that this was going to progress from postpartum depression or anxiety to full-blown postpartum psychosis, if in fact that is what happened here. And I am not a prescriber, and I do not mean to imply that I know that the medications directly played a role. But here's what I do know based on what I heard, what I've read and what I've heard. Okay, again, I'm not sitting in the courtroom, and I'm not friends with Lindsay Clancy or her husband, her ex-husband. But I've heard that she was going back to the doctor and saying things like, I can't tell the difference between reality and what is not real. That is a red flag to any mental health provider. And just throwing new meds at something rather than considering, and maybe they did consider it. I feel like I'm like on trial here myself, trying not to say the wrong thing. But when you can't tell the difference between reality and not reality, and you literally can't tell what is real, and you have 3 kids at home, that is a red flag. That person needs to be assessed to be taken out of the home and put in inpatient care, not just given new, very strong medications, especially, and I don't know the timeline of which meds when, but something like Ambien, which also makes people not know what is real, and they act of their own accord while they're asleep, for example. I would never want to prescribe something like Ambien to someone who already doesn't know the difference between reality and not reality. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I'm just having a conversation, not as a prescriber, not as a provider. I don't know this individual, but this is what I'm witnessing. I absolutely think that medications can be a gift, and I don't blame the medications for what happened here. I think there's a lot of factors here to blame. I blame Lindsay Clancy. Yes, I do. I also think there's some other things at play, and I'm just going to be interested to see how they work this out in trial.